This is Miss Coletha's blog. How are you doing? If you've listened to the beginning of the podcast, then you know that I'm sponsored by Anchor, by Spotify, and on there you can start your own podcast. So check it out. It's anchor.fm and start your podcast today. Now, you know the name of today's blog is Halloween Happenings. Okay, I am also doing a video version of this portion of the podcast, and it will be on my YouTube channel, and it's on the playlist of Miss Coletha's blog. Okay, so I wanted to add a little special part of this podcast with memories that I have of Halloween. You ready? Am I ready? Okay, so this is something that none of the other kids in my family will remember because most of them were either not born or they were too young. But because Tony and I were the oldest, we're the ones who spent the longest time with my mother in her 20s, right? So before Jesse came along and all of that, before the twins were born, Carolyn was born, but she was very young. And, you know, she was younger than Tony and I. And so I can tell you what I remember of us celebrating Halloween. And during this time, my grandmother was alive, but I don't remember her on that night. And I can tell you that it was a booze and drug filled night. And I don't remember what kind of a costume that I had, but I'm sure it was something homemade. It wasn't anything store-bought or anything like that. And of course, this was before Jehovah's Witnesses came into the picture. And if you've listened to my YouTube channel, then you know that the way that Jehovah's Witnesses were introduced into our family is because my mom's younger sister, who's also a twin, she's the devil incarnate in our family. I gotta tell you, everything negative comes from this woman. But speaking of Halloween, witches and ghouls and goblins and things of that nature, she is that in our family. This woman married a young man from Louisiana, and he was in the army, and he was stationed in Germany. And he did not have to go to Vietnam because his family knew to lobby for him to make sure that he did not go to have to fight in Vietnam, and so they were able to do that. Now with my other uncle, that was actually in my family, my two uncles. So Uncle Chester, who was Ara Morris's son, he went to Vietnam, but he didn't serve very long. And remember, I was telling you that he was shot in his chest. We don't know, or I haven't been able to find out. I have his death certificate, but I don't know if he was shot in the chest by my grandmother herself or by the police. I don't know which. Okay. Meanwhile, the spawn of the devil, she was in Germany with her husband. And nope. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. I think so. And I can't remember. And Uncle Chester Morris was shot in the chest and killed at my grandmother's house before my great grandmother came from Spring to live with my grandmother. She was still alive. Oh, I know she was outdone when Chester was killed like that. She didn't know a lot that my grandmother was doing in Houston. Um, and when she found out, she was disgusted. And when she found out what my mother was doing, she was disgusted about that too. Okay, but listen. My mom's divorce with Tommy hadn't gone through, but they were no longer together. And she had moved to Houston because my grandmother had moved to Houston. And she moved uh, a couple of, across the street and a couple of houses down from my grandmother. And my uncle was shot in the chest and killed. Um, Shot in the chest and killed. Um, at my grandmother's house. And I remember my mom finding out and all of them leaving us and going down to my grandmother's house. And I don't remember his funeral. I don't remember seeing his coffin go down or anything like that. I do remember my grandmother dying because she died not too long after that. And I'm saying that because even though she was crazy and even though she was my grandmother and all of that, um, her dying saved my life and my brother's life. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you this. We were being dogged out. We were being dogged out. Do you hear me? Um, Mainly because my grandmother didn't like our dad, Tommy. And so they didn't like our family. They didn't like the family. And it didn't matter that my mom, we were her oldest daughter's kids, she still treated us like dog crap. Okay? Bad, 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 bad. So let's get to the Halloween. After my uncle was killed and the family was not Jehovah's Witness. So we did do Halloween, and my mom dressed my brother in a dress. This was the 70s. She did that to him in elementary school. Now, you know how they are always, anti-black and blah, blah, okay. So in the 70s, the colored only signs just went down. We're in South Texas. You can't get no deeper in the South than where we was, okay? Because after Galveston is the Gulf of Mexico. You hear what I'm saying? This woman dressed a little black boy in a dress for Halloween. She did that. Now you tell me what's more scary than that. And then with me being his younger sister, and I love my brother, and she did that to him. She did that to him. So how's that for scary? How's that for scary? And we went around and trick-or-treated like that, and I know the neighbors was just, baby, running their mouth. My mom did everything that she could to make us into, what is the name of the word where you make a person hated by everyone in the community? Pariahs. When a person purposely makes everyone in a community hate a child. Alienation. She alienated us. So when the devil came back from Germany with Jehovah's Witnesses, boom, we can't have any friends. We can't celebrate any holidays, not even Halloween. We can't color with the rest of the class. We can't be in any presentations, and they used to have assemblies at our school all the time, and every grade would do something, and everybody would do something, whether you were doing a speech or you were doing a dance thing, because we had a teacher that helped us to do dance stuff, or you did the background drawing stuff and making banners or decorated the tables and stuff with centerpieces and stuff like that. So it was a great school, and we were prevented from doing any of those things. So for me, either I couldn't be in the classroom by myself, and my teacher wouldn't put me like out in the hallway outside the auditorium while they were doing everything that they were doing, because again, no supervision. So either I would have to go and sit in the office, which they had this big couch in the office, the front office, so when visitors came in they had to sign in there and all that, or I would have to go and sit in the library. And so when I would sit in the library, the librarian would give me stuff to do. My teacher would give me extra credit work. So I'd be doing vocabulary lists and or reading extra credit books and different things like that. When I got to junior high school, it was the same thing. And high school, I would have to read alternative lists of things to read. So my English teacher, I wasn't allowed to read The Crucible, so I would have to read something else, and I read The Old Man and the Sea. So that's what I did on my lunch break to keep from getting caught up in making out in the smoking area with boys, or going off campus to get pizza and, making out in the car of the seniors who drove. I would go to the library. And when it came to going on field trips to the White House and stuff like that, couldn't go. So if you want to know the truth, my whole upbringing was Halloween. My whole upbringing was Halloween. Every single day. Every single day was a freak show. Every single day was weird. Every single day was all tricks and no treats, baby. Every day. So there you have it. Let me know if you have a Halloween story, especially if you grew up as a Jehovah's Witness too. And if you happen to be watching this and you knew me back in the day when, we were kids and stuff, please share those stories. I'm sure that my subscribers and visitors would love to hear about that. You could call me anytime. Let me give you the number that you can call me at. Hold on one second. Lord have mercy. I can never remember this. But it's the 832 number that you guys can call me on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Hold on. It's 832-380-2548. Okay, and then if you want to do it on, and I record you for my blog or for my YouTube channel, we can do that too. Yeah, it was just a lot. We were neglected, we were abused, we were mistreated, we were alienated from the black community. So in a lot of ways, if you notice about me, I don't really have a lot of the perspective of you know black people, and even the famous people or whatever, like with Tiffany Haddish. Her mom was a nightmare too. She got exposed to Jehovah's Witnesses, but she also got exposed to the Jewish. She had a bat mitzvah. She was in foster care. She had all of these different experiences. My experiences did have the Jehovah's Witness, but for a much more prolonged period of time. And I got exposed to the Baptist through the high school that I went to, And when I went to stay a little bit with Tommy and Lois on the north side of Houston, that was a completely different experience. It was also all tricks and no treats, but a different scary story. So anyway, if you remind me, I will do a blog post on that in the future. So, but this is all I got for today for Halloween. I'm going to stop it here so it's not too long. And like I said, leave your comments below, share your scary stories. And like I said, if you knew me when I was younger, especially Rod, who is my high school boyfriend, he still has a lot of memories about my family and stuff like that. I went to the prom behind my mama's back. Yes, I did, baby. I went down to Candy Barnes' house, and Roderick pulled up in a white limo, baby, and Pamela made my prom dress. My prom dress was custom made, and yes, it did fall and expose my titties at the prom. Yes, honey, that happened. Oh my God, but that's a whole different story. That's a whole different blog post for another day. But yes, honey, that happened. And you should have seen like the coaches and stuff. Honey, if they had us sing my bazooms before then, I probably would have got better grades when I was over there at Eisenhower High School. Yes, honey, I got stories and I got stories, but y'all let me know what y'all want to hear, and if y'all have any questions, and I'll get to it. Talk to y'all later. Bye. Yes, honey, that happened. Yes, it did. Yes, it did, honey. So that was the end that I did on. So I cut off the recording for the blog post, and so it is uploading and processing now. Oh my God. And then if you look at, like, Roger has a picture of me from prom. And do you know that his family ended up cutting me off of that prom picture? They sure did. Roger don't know that I know that, but I know that, honey. And what Roger don't know is after high school, I ended up working for his Uncle Larry. And I don't know how I stayed in contact with him or whatever, but I was working for him in Lotus and doing data entry for his invoices and stuff. I would go up to City Hall in Houston to pick up bids that the city was doing so that he could find quotes to fill those bids for the city of Houston. And the only thing that I wanted from him was food because I was starving. I was starving. Do you know that this man did not want to pay me a salary? He did not even get me a bus card. I had to come all the way from South Park to go to Inwood Forest. And I was taking care of that myself. So the only thing he needed to do was feed me for coming over there and helping him with his business. And do you know he didn't want to do that? He would put his dogs, like the office part of the house, I would be in there and he would leave. And he would put his dogs to like make sure that I stay in the room, you know, to in the office part of the house and not go to the kitchen to get any food to eat or anything like that. That's why I stopped working with him. That's why I stopped working with him. And then time passed and I was working my regular job, but I was working part time, but I still had enough hours where I could do extra work. So I was doing extra work. And I don't know how I ran into this man. I don't remember. Either I was at midnight, which was a club. I'm trying to add this. Oh, what is it saying? Let me see what this is saying. What? That can't be right. I did 16 minutes here and 9 minutes here. It says total length is 1 hour and 30 minutes and 10 seconds. That can't be right. Let me see that I put it. Oh, that's because it added it twice. Y'all need to stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Okay, so I'm going to delete this one. Delete, remove from episode. Okay, so remove from episode. I just kept on clicking it, kept on adding it, but I couldn't see it. Okay, remove from episode. Okay, so I think I may have ran into him at midnight. And I'm telling you, the high school Coletha was completely different from the Miss Coletha who was going to school at the University of Houston downtown and working and with my own apartment and my own group of friends and stuff. I was a completely different from the high school Coletha that he had known, that he had taken advantage of, tried to take advantage of basically. So he asked me to work for him again. And I said, I want a salary this time. Okay. And so I went back to working with him and everything, and he messed it up. The me out of high school and in college, oh, he was totally feeling that, Coletha. And Roderick don't know this, but if you watching this here, Roderick, let me let you know, your Uncle Larry was all up into me, and let me tell you how much he was into me. I was working with him, and he invited me to go to midnight because I think that's where I ran into him again. So he invited me to go to midnight with him, and I was having a good time. Okay. Kenny G was on the floor playing, and it was the nice ambiance, and the people were very nice. And I'm feeling myself because I got money in the bank, I got my savings, I got my own place, and all of this, right? Do you know that this man was jealous? First of all, there's no way that I would ever date the uncle of my high school boyfriend. I don't care what he got. I don't care what he's doing. I don't care what his bank account reads. I would never do that. I wouldn't do that. I have too much respect for myself. And me and Roger used to get up to some nasty things, experimenting and whatnot. And it's just, to me, you just don't even go there. You don't even go there. I was so grateful to Roderick coming from California, where I believe he got into trouble. That's why his mama sent him to Houston in the first place. And he was this big, fine, buff, dumb football player, which was great. Which was great. I loved it. I was way smarter than he was. I used to go into um I used to go into the lunchroom in the morning, and I would do his homework for him and stuff. And it got around, and so I was able to do other people's like papers and edit for them, and they would pay me. And that was money, honey. And that's what I used to do. Over at Eisenhower, is very lucrative for me. But anyway, um, long story short, we are leaving from this club called Midtown. Very nice club. And it had been raining a little bit. And this man was kind of like picking an argument with me. And I was looking at him like, are you high? There's no way that it ain't going to ever happen. Okay? Nothing happened between me and Larry. Absolutely nothing. There's no way. Okay. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. But let's get to it. So we're driving, we're coming from Midtown, and there's like this overpass that goes over 59. And do you know that this man almost wrecked that car? He almost wrecked because he was that upset that I wasn't into him. And I imagine he felt like, this is what a lot of guys feel. Once they have achieved a certain amount of money, and they have a certain vehicle, and they have a certain home, that they can have whatever woman that they think that they want, right? Right? But I've never been that kind of a person, because no matter how much money he have and car and all this sort of things, it's not going to change the fact that you are my high school boyfriend's uncle. Okay. Number two, it's not going to change the fact that this is your character is stank. I'm coming right out of high school, and I'm helping you with your work, and I'm just asking you for food to eat while I'm working. And you have to remember, I was all of 75 pounds soaking wet. I was 75. I was the same weight as a fifth grader graduating high school, because that's how little food that I had to eat. And that's all I wanted for this man. I didn't ask him for an hourly salary. I didn't ask him for anything like that. I asked him for food. And you have to remember, this is in the 80s. When food, let me tell you, at my apartment, after I graduated high school and everything, my apartment, I could spend $30 on a week of food for me. And that includes full breakfast because I love breakfast. Eggs, bacon, toast, orange juice, and coffee with all the fixings. You hear me? $30. I would have my little stir fry that I would do with my little rice and my beef and my um broccoli and all kinds of entrees that I would eat, baby, with my little dinner rolls and everything with the butter on there. I would have my little yeast rolls, you know, the kind that pull apart. Oh, yes. And if my friends would drop by for dinner, I would have enough to cook enough for everybody. I fried my chicken. I thought I was doing stuff, baby, because I could fry chicken without even putting, you know, the flour on there and everything, and it would still come out crispy and crunchy and just, oh, yes, honey. I had it going on. And that was for $30. And this was after this time that I had been working for Larry. This man didn't want to spend, and he didn't want to spend $20 a week just to make sure that there was food in the house for me while I'm working for him for free. And this Philistine had the nerve to think that a few years later, when I'm in college and I'm making my own duckies, getting paid every week, plus stock options, yes, honey, plus stock options, and my stock was splitting every week, and I was getting my little dividend check and all of that, that I would ever lower myself to date someone like him. Ever. It would never happen. I couldn't even imagine Roderick's face to know that his high school girlfriend is not with his old, decrepit uncle. And when I met Larry, he only dated white women. He only dated white women. And I met his girlfriend. So why in the hell would I ever? I had more sense than that. As a kid, high school, being through all the crap that I went through in my life, why would I ever? Why would I ever? His nephew was way more of a man than Larry could ever be, even with all that crap that he had. I could at least depend on Roderick for a Big Mac. Okay? I could at least depend on him for a Big Mac. He came from California. He could navigate Texas. He trusted me we went all kinds of places. You should have seen us. And Roderick saw all the gulliness, the way my family was. My sister tried to set the cat out for him, as if he would ever be interested in her. She looks nothing like me. Roderick had a type. He had a type. He liked, I was 75 pounds. I was slim, light, red hair. My sister was the complete opposite. She was big bone. She had size 10 feet. She was child, she was double my weight. I had scruples, she had none. I have never tried to date anybody that my sister would be with. Never. I've never had a sugar daddy. I've never had no man to go out and buy me a car and this. I always resisted that type of stuff. I had too much decency and respect for myself. I just knew that this wasn't the way to go. You learn these things when you know that your big mama was a hoe. and you don't want to, and you don't want to keep it up. I mean, bless her heart. What else was she gonna do? It was, Jim Crow. She was a really black, Blackfoot, black Indian with coal black straight hair. Beautiful skin, beautiful woman. What's she gonna do? Be a typist? Every job that she ever did, every man was trying to sleep with her. The men in the family was trying to sleep with her. The men in the neighborhood was trying to get at her. Every job she ever went to, whether it was a housekeeping job, any kind of a job, they was always trying to get at her. It wasn't like she on Jesse's side of the family. My grandmother over there, grandmommy, she was a chauffeur for the Senate. Okay, because what her family was tied into politics and all of that. Daddy was all into politics. He constantly was going to the city council meetings and meeting with the different members of the council and meeting with the mayor. And even my mom, she was Jehovah's Witness, but she worked for the city of Houston, and we used to go to City Hall to have breakfast. And she would know those ladies who worked in the cafeteria, who of course knew all the housekeeping staff, who knew all the administrative staff, who knew all the aides and stuff, who worked in the mayor's office. Okay, so all of that kind of stuff kind of worked together, you know. And the reason why my mom went out of her way to be this Jehovah's Witness person, we went to every meeting, we had to comment and all this kind of stuff, because she felt like it was the only thing to kind of put a separation between the era of, you know, my grandmother with all of her scandals and stuff. And it was a lot. There was a lot. My great grandmother she had 4 what you call flop houses. If you know, Google what a flop house is, kind of like a boarding house for the men that worked in the oil business and stuff. A lot of them were not married. So she had bought all of these houses because she owned a bar. She owned a bar. She bought these flop houses, boarding houses. She hired people to do all kinds of work for her. She sold liquor. She knew the political people. She knew all the business people. She knew all the ladies and who they were related to and who they were dating and who their parents were. She knew all of this. She knew all of this information on all of these different people. So even when my great grandfather passed away and the white man came to try to take her property, time he owed he owed them money. Shoot. My great grandmother was like, she better get on out of here with that so and so. She could curse like a sailor. Oh man. She was awesome. And we owned all that land, that I-45 going through Spring. That's my family's land that we sold to Harris County. And that's how my mom had money to do all the stuff that she did, including setting Jesse up with his own business, which is the shop that I learned in, which is where I got all of my business acumen and ethics and all that kind of stuff right from Jesse. That's where I get it from. Being able to run a business and understanding the accounts and understanding how to speak to customers and all that kind of stuff. He is the one who taught me. I learned how to answer a business phone right in Daddy's shop, working for him. And that was before Roderick. That was before this situation with Larry, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, to wrap it all up, the situation with Larry, when he lost control of the car and almost killed us both, you know, with him trying to start an argument, and I think he was drunk, but he could have killed both of us that night. He could have killed us both that night because he was so upset that he spun that car, and we were facing traffic in the, you know, we were down the hill and traffic was coming down at us. And if it had not been for the Lord, baby, on my side, That fool would have killed us both that night. And I would have been on the other side like, so and so, I was never gonna date you. Never. You can't earn enough money. You can't earn enough money. You can't, if you was driving a Phantom, if you lived in a mansion, you would still be off limits for me because I dated your nephew. I went to prom with your nephew. There can never be nothing between me and you. And thank God, I think Larry's dead. I think he is. The last time I talked to Roderick, I think that that was the word, that he was dead. And, oh, he's from Monroe, Louisiana, honey. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Ooh, child, he wasn't the last Louisiana boy that I talked to. You know that. That one from Donaldsonville, but we call he's like he who must not be named. Okay. But baby, when I got the first chance that I got to get away from him, I was gone. I was gone, baby. That nigga was looking for me like, where's she at? Where's she at? Oh, baby, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone, baby. How Trina say you don't know now. Who'll leave you like I do. We'll be gone with your baby too. You don't know now. Nope, nope, no, you don't know now. Who ain't gonna take all kinds of stuff? I ain't gonna do it. Woo, say that drama for your mama. I'm not the one. I'm not the one, baby. Never was. Never was. I saw too much. I heard too much. When my mom and them used to be talking and other folks used to be talking, running my family down, I was right there listening. I was right there listening, honey. And what? Taking notes. I sure did. I sure did, honey. I never forgot. Never forgot it. Never forgot it, baby. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, y'all. I gotta go. Did I? Okay. I gotta do this here. Okay. So now I'm saving my podcast. Thank y'all for going down memory lane with me tonight. Child. How Miss Juice say? It was a shame and a scandal. Not a little shade, but a lot. You remember her? She doesn't do anything that much anymore, but you can hear all of her old episodes on YouTube. I used to love, love, love to listen to her channel, but I don't think she's doing anything anymore, or she hasn't in a long time. Yeah, she doesn't even come up in my search category anymore. Let me see. For the Love of Juice, that's her. I'm still subscribed to her. A southern mama with an annoying voice that loves gossip. I don't get in other people's business like that. That's what she say. And you know me, I don't get in other people's business like that. And then she do not a little shade, but a lot. Yeah, see, on her page it's got Ra Ali versus Hennessy. They started all the drama between Nicki and Cardi yesterday, to be honest. And that was 2 years ago. Child, they started all the drama yesterday. That's Juice. I love her voice. I love her videos. She hasn't uploaded anything. Oh, this is something. VMA fails. VMA fails 2021. I didn't get the notification and the bell is showing enough hit. Well, if you get a chance, you should check out her channel. If you like it, subscribe and comment. And she always says that like or dislike, I love them both. You know, I love her. For the number 4, The Love of Juice, spelled Joose. And I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna click on this one for VMA fails because I never even saw this. And looks like she's trying to do a little something, but everybody loves her. Everybody loves her. And I don't know what's going on, but you know, keep her lifted in prayer. And I'm going to get off of here. Keep me lifted in prayer too, y'all. I got stuff going on. Okay. And every Monday, if you're new around here, every Monday I have new content coming at you at 10 a.m. every Monday. And that production went on into 2023, so that will be popping up. And then just like this with my blog, I normally post about 4 or 5 onto my blog, and then with my podcast I try to do something maybe twice a week or so, something like that, sometimes more, sometimes less. And so this is something that's a little bit different, where I am doing half of it is in the Onyx voice that I choose to do based on what I have published on WordPress, and then I piggyback that on with my own voice and my own stories, and then I also do a video for my YouTube channel. So this is it. And so you get a little bit extra on the podcast, and you get extra on the WordPress. You get different content, and then here on my YouTube channel you get different you get different content. So every place is a little bit different. It's got its own different little flavor, a little bit extra information, you know, here and there and everywhere. And you know, I also have my Facebook page. I'm celebrating the 5th anniversary of my foundation, the Joseph Dwayne Foundation. That's in Joe's name. So it's been 5 years since I started the foundation. Can you believe it? Oh my God, 5 years, honey. 5 years. And so I am looking to grow that. And we also contribute to the Arbor Society. And I also adopted a church in Alabama that we sponsor, honey. Alabama, baby. So yeah. So we are doing some things. I have a goal of what I want to do and a vision. And if it be God's will that it will happen. And as it happens, I will let you guys know what's going on. So it's all good. It's all good. Everything is going to be all right. All right. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Okay. I have quite a few subscribers, but unfortunately not that many people are actually viewing my videos. I don't know why. I don't know why. I swear to God, I don't. But I think that the YouTube algorithm is just not, it just doesn't love me. But for those of you who do watch me faithfully, I appreciate you. For those of you who comment, I really appreciate you. Thank you for that. And those of you who share my videos, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that as well. So anyway, how y'all like my wig today? This is the same wig that I wore to my government training in Glendale, California back in 2018. Ain't that something? I pulled it out, honey. I was like, go ahead, baby, go ahead. I did that. I sure did. I remember it was longer though. I trimmed it. But I was walking out. I was like, yes, honey, this is my Kim Kardashian. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, honey. Oh my God. Yes, this is an oldie but a goodie, honey. And yeah, I really feel like that. I got to do some traveling. And so I've been trying to book. I have a meeting that I've got to travel to, and so I'm trying to get that squared away. I got stuff. Please pray for me. Oh, please, St. Christopher, be with me as I travel and I go to do God's will in the name of Jesus. I will see y'all next time. I'm gone this time. I'm gone. Thank you for supporting me in advance, and thank you for my diehards who always ride or die for me. I appreciate you so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Mwah, mwah. Bye.